self-realization. The personalist knows rightly his position is the eternal server of the things which one of God. Therefore, he engages himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness. Because everything is done for Krishna, he enjoys only transcendental happiness in the discharge of this service. Those who are engaged in this process are known to be without desire for personal sense gratification. The sense of eternal servitorship, Krishna, makes one immune to all sorts of reactionary elements of work. One is understood to be in full knowledge of every act with desire. Instead of saying, full knowledge. Every fire, all of the act. And understanding of technological problems of all kinds of science. So very much a Krishna conscious person does not expect good or bad results in his activities. His mind and intelligence are fully controlled. He knows that he is part and parcel of the Supreme, and therefore the part played by him as a part and parcel of the whole is not his choice, but is chosen for him by the Supreme, and is done only through his agency. When the hand moves, it does not move out of its own accord, but by the endeavor of the whole body. A Krishna conscious person is always dovetailed with the supreme desire, for he has no desire for personal sense gratification. He moves exactly like a part of a machine. As a machine part requires oiling and cleaning for maintenance, similarly, a Krishna conscious man maintains himself by his work just to remain fit for action in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. He's therefore immune to all the reactions of his endeavors. Like an animal, he has no proprietorship even over his own body. A cruel proprietor of an animal sometimes kills the animal in his possession, yet the animal does not protest, nor does it have any real independence. A Krishna conscious person, fully engaged in self-realization, has very little time to falsely possess any material object. For maintaining body and soul, he does not require unfair means of accumulating money. He does not, therefore, become contaminated by such material sins. He is free from all reactions to his actions. So this chapter 4, along with chapter 12, probably two of my favorite chapters in the Bhagavad Gita. At the beginning of this chapter, text 1, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Imam Vivasvate Yogam, Proktavam Aha Abhyayam, Vivasvan Manave Praha. I can't remember the last line exactly, so I'm not going to quote it, but the blessed Lord said, I instructed the science of yoga to the sun god Vivasvan. Vivasvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu instructed it to Ikshvaku. And text 2, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarseu vidahu sakalenaha mahata yogo nasta parantapa. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and the science as it is appears to be lost. So the importance of this science of bhakti yoga has been stressed, that it's nothing new. We're most of us are only limited to Western education, and education that, if we're lucky, consists of, the last 2,000 years or something like that. So this science of Bhakti Yoga, Krishna is telling us that he actually spoke this, multiple times in the past. He spoke it, 1,000,000 years ago. So he comes back every time this science is lost to teach it again, to make sure it's still there. So the importance of this has been stressed. The person in Krishna consciousness is being talked about here, that he's doing all sorts of activities. And so in one sense, he seems somewhat similar to regular people. The impersonalists and some of these other schools of people who are trying to attain some self-realization, they have this thought that because everything is Maya and everything I do is binding, that if I just refrain from sinful activities, that this will get me to the destination. And this isn't the fact. This is a starting point, but it's not the goal. It's the Krishna conscious person realizes he has so much to do in Krishna's service. The natural position of the living entity is Krishna's servant. Jivara Svarupahaya Krishna Nityadas. It is the living entity's constitutional position to be an eternal servant of Krishna. So this is the natural function that we've forgotten about and is the cause of all sorts of problems. So here it is talking about that unless one is engaging every action in Krishna consciousness, then he gets the results of those actions, good or bad. And we've all heard it many times here that if a person is saying, well, it's okay because I do mostly good things, or someone's silly enough to think he does only good things, either way, this is compared to, different types of prison cells. That, mode of goodness work is like getting a prison cell with a window. It's not really a point to get a window or to get some comfortable, facilities while you're in the prison house. The point is to get out. So the Krishna consciousness person, he's described in Srila Prabhupada's purport here that he's not attached to personal maintenance. Everything's left to Krishna. He's not anxious to secure things nor to protect things already in his possession. So attachment to temporary things is the cause of all of our miseries in this world, that, primary ones being my body, which if I've been paying attention to other people, it's natural that I can tell, oh, this is not going to be around forever. So why would I be upset when the same thing that happens to everyone else who's ever been alive happens to me? And then, the family, the relatives, these sort of things. But material objects in general, that, if I get, nice house, nice car, nice job, whatever, the Krishna conscious person understands that, oh, I could use this in Krishna's service. How nice. And if this thing goes away, he understands, well, it's Krishna's mercy that I'm going to serve Krishna in a different way, in a way that doesn't involve this thing. Whereas the materialist is always hankering after things, he gets one thing and he's not satisfied with it. He wants the next thing, and he's upset greatly when this thing that he's labored so hard for, when it goes away, as if his happiness and his life completely depend on that object. So it describes this Krishna conscious person that it's as if he were not doing anything, because while we're in the material world, we're just constantly building up reactions, and everything I do has a reaction. So it's just like try to explain to someone that has a bad drug habit. They're only thinking, oh, well, this makes me feel so nice right now. And you're trying to tell them, yeah, but you're at higher risk of cancer or whatever it is down the road. And he says, oh, no, 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 I'm enjoying now. That's, it's speculation if I have problems later. He's ignoring science to come to this conclusion. And similarly, to ignore what Bhagavad Gita is saying about being free from these sinful reactions is the same problem. We're being told very clearly by Krishna, by his representatives, that one who does not engage in yajna, it does not engage in sacrifice for Vishnu, that all his activities are just leading to lower forms of life. So we have this wonderful opportunity in the human form of life to finally, take up our natural position as Krishna's servant. And we're living in such a short window of time from when Srila Prabhupada, Krishna's empowered representative, was here. We live, as Dhanavir Maharaj was saying the other day, we're able to freely walk the streets, chant Hare Krishna. We don't get jailed for doing it. We're able to be in, robes and tilak, and no one's harassing us. How fortunate are we that if we don't take up this process, we really deserve whatever we've got coming. But the Krishna conscious person here is described that he's not attached to his personal maintenance. So, we see that regular people, they can get so upset if, something happens to them, and, things happen all the time. You get in a car wreck and your spine is a little messed up for the rest of your life. You got to go to a back person to reduce the pain, and it never goes away completely, or so many problems. And the Krishna conscious person just takes all of this as Krishna's mercy. That if Krishna is making it harder for me, well, then it means I have less to be attached to. I'm not attached to my personal comfort. So yeah, the Krishna conscious person, he's not hoarding up money in a bank account thinking, I'm going to need this for a rainy day. He knows that if Krishna wants me to have a lot of money, then who can stop Krishna? Krishna can give me as much money as he wants. And if Krishna doesn't want me to have any money, what can I do to change that? That's the will of the Lord. So it's better to just let whatever Krishna has planned for us, just let it, play out, and be content with what we're given. And Krishna gives us so much. We have, these nice temples where I meet all these wonderful people without even trying. And, in the material world, people are getting in conflicts and fights over the tiniest little things. and holding grudges where the devotees, you know, they're tolerating me when I'm the most fallen, when I'm, you know, barely accepting this process and constantly questioning guru and, my superiors, temple president, or, other prabhus in the ashram. And they're so kind that they just say, oh, he's chanting Hare Krishna. He's taking prasadam. How wonderful. So Krishna's devotees are said to be even more merciful than the Lord in the sense that they go out of their way to approach just about everybody. They look at everybody as Krishna's servant, that, here is somebody that forgot Krishna, not that, oh, this person is not my friend because they're born in a different country or a different body, or, you know, they look this way or that way or act this way or talk that way. No, this is the temporary dress. It's like, I'm in a white body and Srila Prabhupada is in an Indian body. Um, Srila Prabhupada went to near every country in the world and made devotees. He went to countries like Russia where they had no devotees at all, and he made a disciple in 3 days, I think it was. So this is the natural position of the living entity, and we see that people in countries all over the world where their situations are so different are taking this process very seriously. And so we should be encouraged that, it's not even that we have to doubt, well, maybe I'm involved in something that really only a small group of people, there's, ups and downs in terms of the material situation that, there's Satya Yuga, there's the Golden Age, and we're in Kali Yuga. And even within this Kali Yuga, there's this 10,000 year period where Chaitanya's movement is just spreading and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So we really have this amazing opportunity to watch, the coolest, explosion of a movement. People were excited about all these material things, whether it's the Renaissance or the hippie movements or different social movements. And this is, a million times bigger than any of these things. That, all these other things are attached to certain times and places. But chanting Hare Krishna, serving his devotees, honoring prasadam, this Sankirtan mission, this is eternal. This is something that the means and the ends are the same. So we go out on Harinam, we chant Hare Krishna, we chant japa in the morning. And why do we do these things? So we can do these things more, because as we keep doing them, we get more of a taste. And Chandrasekhar Prabhu was saying the other day that most of the devotees he's met who have trouble in their sadhana, in their spiritual life, it starts with bad japa, that they're not focused during their japa period. So we understand that Krishna and his name are non-different. So if we can just really strive to have a good japa period, as well as to, like this purport is talking about, be unattached to our personal maintenance. And it's not that we just sit by and say, oh, I'm not going to brush my teeth. I'll let my teeth fall out of my head because that's what Krishna wants, or silly things like this, but we're not attached to the outcome, good or bad. Oh, it's all Krishna, it's all his mercy. But it says in the this purport to verse 21, as a machine part requires oiling and cleaning for maintenance, similarly a Krishna conscious man maintains himself by his work just to remain fit for action in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So this is all part of my devotional service that I don't own this body. This is just on a loan from Krishna. Krishna has loaned me this body. Any ability I have, anything that I say, oh, I'm good at singing, I'm good at cooking, I'm good at distributing books, or maybe I'm good at none of those things, but whatever I imagine I'm good at is all because of Krishna. So if I can use that ability to sing or distribute books or mop the temple, or talk about Krishna with devotees and uh, engage in this process, it's all for Krishna's service. So in order to do that properly, I have to take care of my body and have to take care of my relationships with other devotees. That one of the things we hear again and again is that offenses against other Vaishnavas are like the mad elephant offense, that they trample over the creeper of devotional service. So Krishna is so pleased when we serve his devotees, but he's very upset when we make offenses against them. So we should endeavor to not make offenses that are external or verbal or noticeable, but also in our minds, that it's easy to say, I won't offend this person to their face, but every time they do something in my head, I'm saying, is he doing it that way? Why can't he just do it the way I do it? And there's so many devotees around us who are tolerating us, and we're never aware of it. So we should take the same mood and be kind enough to give it to others. Does anybody have any comments they'd like to make? Any questions? We can go to text 22. He who is satisfied with gain which comes of its own accord, who is free from duality and does not envy, who is steady both in success and failure, is never entangled, although performing actions. Report, a Krishna conscious person does not make much endeavor even to maintain his body. He is satisfied with gains which are attained of their own accord. He neither begs nor borrows, but he labors honestly, as far as is in his power, and is satisfied with whatever is obtained by his own honest labor. He is therefore independent in his livelihood. He does not allow anyone's service to hamper his own service in Krishna consciousness. So this is a really nice point, that he doesn't allow anyone's service to hamper his own service in Krishna consciousness. And there's so many ways I can think of understanding that I can get upset because I want to lead the kirtan, and this Prabhu or that Prabhu, everybody else gets to lead, but I don't get to lead. Or I can get upset that, this Prabhu is just an amazing book distributor. He goes out for a couple hours and he distributed 100 books, and I go out for hours and I distributed one book. But it's Krishna conscious person is not attached to results. He does them clearly or with the singular purpose of serving Krishna. So he gives it his best effort, and whatever happens, happens. And, as we get older, the material body starts to fall apart. So however good at singing I am, or however attractive I am, or even in some cases, the mental faculties, or, I've had family members get Alzheimer's and they can't remember anybody's name or anybody, so many things that you would think that's essential to who this person is, but it's not. They're not their body. Their car is not working so good is basically all that is. The vehicle that they find themselves in, it's breaking down a lot. So the duality of the material world is felt in terms of heat and cold, or misery and happiness. Krishna conscious person is above duality because he does not hesitate to act in any way for the satisfaction of Krishna. Therefore, he is steady both in success and failure. These signs are visible when one is fully in transcendental knowledge. this is at least for me, this is easier believed than actually something I commit to. Like we just this temple, we just got our AC fixed recently. So, I'm ecstatic. Like, oh, God, now I'm never going to leave the temple. But maybe it's Krishna's mercy that tomorrow the AC goes out. Like, you know, it's, it's I never know what's in store. And like, I give these classes, which I thank everybody for tolerating because I'm not so good at it. But I can't be attached to whether I give a good or bad class because just ask Magadari who's giving class today. And he says, "Oh, it's your day." Oh, very good, Prabhu. I'll give class. And I do my best not to. The first time I gave a class, I was so nervous because I thought, I have no idea what to say, that we have a certain time we're supposed to end class at. And I ended class 15 minutes early because I was so like, I don't have anything else to say. Um, but the more I read Bhagavad Gita in a very small way compared to these other speakers who have so much to say and so much more intelligence than I do, I understand that, with material subjects, you can read it once, you can say something, and that's about it. And after that, it's just chewing the chew. You keep chewing this. Okay, I set it over here. You know what? Let me see if there's some more flavor in that. Chew it again. Oh, not so much. And each time, it's diminishing returns. Whereas this Bhagavad Gita just gets better all the time. That, even someone as stupid and foolish as I am can get some nectar out of this. And just by repeating this dialogue of Krishna and Arjuna with Srila Prabhupada's wonderful purports, I can experience some satisfaction. Yeah. Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Ooh,